Good day folks, Sean here from Air Photography. So this morning DJI has launched a brand new action camera, the DJI Osmo Action 4, and it's actually what I'm filming on right now. Now throughout this video we're going to talk about some of the features and I'm going to show you some clips and different footage. And I just want you to know that none of the footage has been color graded or edited. It's straight raw right off the camera. I'm not going to play any music to it. We're just going to keep things as real as possible. That way you can get a good feel of what this camera is capable of. After all, an editing master can make anything look good. We're just going to see what an average Joe can capture. Now, you probably noticed the title of this video I stated is DJI, the new leader in action cameras. Now that is a legitimate statement. That is not just a clickbait title. With things like their new 1/1.3 inch sensor, being able to record at 4K 60 without the camera overheating, being able to charge a battery all the way up to 80% in 18 minutes, easily connecting a microphone without the need of any adapters, a stable platform that doesn't lock up and is just reliable. DJI has implemented some real-world features that we can actually use, not just gimmicky things, but good solutions to problems that have plagued action cameras. Now, it's no surprise, right now DJI is the leader when it comes to consumer drones and even enterprise drones. There's no other company that even comes close. So it's no wonder that they're doing the same with action cameras. So with the Osmo Action 4, DJI has implemented a brand new imaging system that features a 1/1.3 inch sensor. Now, I am not a technical guru by any stretch, but what I do know is it can capture some amazing content, even in really complex lighting conditions. And it's why I've chosen to film this review primarily on the Action 4. Of course, when I'm showing B-roll of the camera, that was filmed on an iPhone. But most of this review will be filmed on the Action 4. Now, they've done away with the HDR mode. All the content you capture now will be in high dynamic range. So you don't have to choose, which is a nice feature as well. Of course, it has new low light capabilities. The camera will automatically switch into this low light mode when it detects the light is too low. Now, I'm in an environment where it's really hard to get good low light shots. I did try and capture some stuff at sunset, or at dusk I should say, and I'll play that footage for you. But I do plan on doing a full low light comparison against the Hero 11 Black in an upcoming video, so stay tuned for that. Now, another nice feature of this imaging system is the ability to set the noise reduction and the ability to set your sharpening. Now, of course, you can do that on a GoPro. They offer 3 levels of sharpening. But with the Osmo Action 4 upon launch, there's going to be 5 levels of sharpening, so you can adjust it to suit your own taste. On top of that, there'll be 4 levels of noise reduction to suit whatever works best for you. So another hobby of mine is RC vehicles. Here I got my X-Max, filming this on the Action 4. And yeah, let's go for a little cruise. I'm going to do some different footage here with the camera mounted on the car and just filming it. So we are all geared up here, and we're going to go for a bike ride, and we're going to test out the Osmo Action, see how well it does. Now, a couple things we will be testing with the Osmo Action 4 is how the wind noise canceling works, because we're going to be riding at about 25 miles per hour, so there's going to be a lot of wind going over the microphones. So we're going to see how well it deals with wind noise. And I'm going to show you a couple different angles from a chest mount, handlebar mount, and even a head strap, and that way you can get a good feel of how it performs. The Osmo Action 4 has a 155-degree field of view, and that's compared to a GoPro that has 151. So let's just saddle up and we'll go for a ride with the Osmo Action 4. So, how does the audio sound here? I don't have a microphone connected to it, and we're biking, so there's going to be a lot of wind whipping across the microphones. So we're just going to see how the noise canceling does, or wind noise canceling does, I should say. See if it's any good. I won't know until I get back and check out the footage. We're just out at the Pinery right now, biking on the back trails. This is called the Savannah Trail, and it's the only trail that allows mountain bikes, e-bikes, and different things like that. And I think it goes for 12 kilometers, something like that. So it's a pretty good ride. This is actually my second time today doing the whole loop. So now we've got the Osmo Action 4 mounted on a head strap. Just going to do a couple different angles so you can get a good feel of what it's going to look like. So another nice feature of the Osmo Action 4 is when using the frame that comes with it, you can actually easily mount it vertically. When using the frame, you still have full access to the bottom magnetic mounts, but you can switch it back and forth easily when you need to. And if you're a person who's going to be switching over from a GoPro, if you've invested a lot of money in GoPro gear, different GoPro mounts, such as their chest mount, the Osmo Action 4 is fully compatible with anything that utilizes a finger mount. So you can purchase the Osmo Action 4 and you don't have to worry about purchasing all new accessories and mounts. These magnetic mounts will connect to any GoPro finger mount. So the charging case that you can get for it is absolutely brilliant. DJI did a really good job engineering this. Not only is this just a charging case, it'll hold 3 batteries, but this will act as a power bank as well. So if you're out and say your smartphone is getting a little low in power and that's your priority, you can plug it in to the USB-C port there on the side and charge up any device. On top of that, there's some spots up at the top there to hold memory cards, as you can see maybe there. And it's just nice the way it's designed with this lid. So you can plug this into a power bank, throw the whole thing into a backpack, and charge your batteries on the go. So it's a really nice little feature. Now, one of my absolute favorite features of the Osmo Action series is the magnetic mounting system. This was first introduced on the Action 2. Of course, with the Action 3, they greatly improved it, and that's been carried over to the Action 4. The magnetic mounting system is just so convenient. If you have to switch between something like a chest mount to a handheld mount to a bike mount, you can do so very easily. The connection is very secure, and there's no worry that it will become disconnected. I've used it quite a bit over the last few years, starting with the Action 2, and not once has my camera become disconnected when I didn't want it to. That magnetic mounting system is one of the primary reasons why I've tended to use my Action 2 more this summer when vlogging, just because it is so convenient, especially when you do have to change mounts on a regular basis. It just makes it really easy, and it's convenient to use. Now, if you're a person who likes to fly FPV, the Action 4, of course, is going to be a great choice because of just the stunning imagery it can capture. You'll have the option of using the built-in rock-steady stabilization, which will offer a really good stabilization for you. But you also have the option of using GyroFlow. The Action 4 will be fully compatible with GyroFlow, and the nice thing about GyroFlow is that it's free. If you're in the market for an action camera for vlogging, the Action 4 is a great choice. This is obviously what I'm kind of vlogging on right now. And the nice thing about it is you can connect a microphone directly to it. You don't have to use any mods or adapters. You can plug any USB-C microphone or most USB-C microphones directly into it. Right now I'm recording with the DJI mic plugged into the Osmo Action 4, and it's just a nice simple way to get good audio. And with its new imaging system, it's going to make vlogging in all different types of lighting conditions look great. Now, of course, you can't always have a microphone connected to your action camera. Right now, I've disconnected the DJI wireless mic, so the audio you're hearing is coming directly off the camera. And the Action 4 has pretty good audio. A common overlooked feature of the Action series is the quick switch button. It's located on the side, and it allows you to easily cycle through different filming modes. Now, of course, GoPro has something similar. They have their mode button on the side, but it only allows you to cycle through the 3 preset shooting modes. With the quick switch button, it is fully configurable. You can change what modes are included in it, including making your own custom modes. So it's great for switching back and forth quickly on the fly, especially if you're in water or underwater and the touchscreen doesn't work. That quick switch button just makes it quite simple and easy, and it's really nice that you can fully configure it in the menu. Now, when it comes to the Action 4, it's a lot of the little features that DJI has implemented that make it such a compelling action camera. Having a built-in color temperature sensor, which is located right in the O of the Action on the front of the camera, allows for accurate colors, prevents flickering even when underwater. Being able to fast charge your batteries all the way from 0 to 80% in 18 minutes is an incredible feature and gets you back up and recording quickly. 160 minutes of record time. Of course, that's going to depend on your resolution and frame rate, and the ability to record up to -20 degrees reliably for 150 minutes is another great feature. The Action 4 is also waterproof all the way down to 18 meters. And that's compared to a GoPro, which is waterproof down to 33 feet, which works out to about just a little over 10 meters. So if you're a person who likes to film in the water, rest assured your camera is going to remain safe. If you need to go deeper than that, of course, you can purchase their waterproof housing. Now, when it comes to thermals on the DJI Action 4, DJI have really mastered it. With the Action 4, you can record in 4K indefinitely or until the battery dies without the camera overheating. We all know GoPros can suffer from overheating issues, and I was actually trying to do a battery comparison of the Action 4 against the Hero 11, recording at 4K 60 to see how the battery would last for both cameras. And the GoPro kept overheating. The longest I was able to record at 4K 60 was 27 minutes. I did the test twice, and both times the GoPro overheated, whereas my Action 4 continued to record until the battery ran out, which was 82 minutes. And those thermals translate into some of the higher frame rates as well. Of course, if you're filming at a higher frame rate, such as 120 frames per second, the camera could potentially overheat on a hot day, but definitely it can record longer than a GoPro at 120 frames per second. And usually when you're recording at 120 frames per second, it's because you're trying to capture slow motion video. So you're not going to be recording for hours on end. Usually it's just capturing little clips that you can slow down. So the thermal capabilities of the Action 4 is pretty incredible. So if you've had problems with your GoPro overheating and you're getting frustrated with that, you may want to consider taking a look at the Action 4. And lastly here, the Action 4 is able to capture some pretty incredible slow motion. It's capable of 4K up to 120 frames per second, and you can film at 1080 up to 240 frames per second. Now, I've already shown you a little bit of slow motion footage when I was driving the X-Max. I'll just show you a few of those clips here again. But the really impressive thing is, if you do a lot of filming in slow motion, you know you have to have a lot of light. When you're filming at a high frame rate, the images can be a little underexposed. But these slow motion shots I captured were at 120 frames per second and under a tree canopy, so there wasn't a lot of light. But if you look at the detail in the shadows, a lot of the highlights and lowlights, all that detail is preserved, even in these higher frame rates. So that's actually pretty impressive. The slow motion looks fantastic. Myself, when I'm filming slow motion, I like to film at 120 frames per second. I find that to be the perfect amount of slow motion. So now we've looked at a lot of footage and we've talked about some of the features of the Action 4. So let's get down to some real talk here now. I just want to mention that this video is in no way sponsored. Everything I've talked about and said is my own thoughts after using the Action 4 for the last couple of weeks. It truly has been a great product to use and I've really enjoyed it. Now, if you're a regular to my channel, you know that I'm a little bit of a GoPro fanboy. I've been using their cameras for almost a decade now. And I think that they have some work cut out for them if they're going to compete with a company like DJI. As I stated in the beginning of this video, is DJI the new leader in action cameras? As mentioned, that's a legitimate statement. DJI has just really implemented some really useful features. GoPros are notorious for overheating and for locking up, and sometimes even just having footage corrupted or not recording at all. And with my Action 4, or any of my Actions, I've never experienced any of those problems. And that's pretty incredible considering I'm using beta firmware. I'm using beta firmware right now, and I've had not one single issue. So when the final version comes out, you know you're going to have a nice solid camera. Now, if you're a regular to my channel, you know that I've been living off-grid all summer. I've been living like a traveling nomad, and I've been using the Action 2 to capture my adventures and do some vlogging on my YouTube channel. And I chose the Action 2 just because of its reliability and of course the magnetic mounting system. But going forward, definitely the Action 4 is going to be my vlogging camera of choice. In fact, next week I'm leaving for 5 weeks to the east coast of Canada, and I'm going to be using the Action 4 to capture my adventures. I'm just really happy with the results it produces, and it's just, again, like I said, very reliable. Now, of course, when I do reviews like this, I like to be impartial, and I like to cover all aspects of a product, the good and the bad. But I've had a hard time finding anything negative with this camera. The only thing I would like to see perhaps with it is them implement some type of night mode filming, just presets to make filming at night a little easier. And what I mean by that is like for night lapses, star trails, and different things like that. Of course, that is just software, so it could be fairly easily implemented by DJI. And that's one nice thing about DJI as a company, is that when they release a product, they're always adding new features, fixing problems, and not just little enhancements. Sometimes they add big new features. Now, if you are interested in the Action 4, make sure you stick around and you're subscribed to my channel, because I do plan on covering it fully over the coming months. I'm going to have a lot of tips and tutorials. Of course, I'm going to have a full beginner's guide for those who are brand new to the Action 4 and want to learn how to use it. I'll be doing some comparisons against the Hero 11 Black and a few other action cameras, so make sure you stay tuned. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it and got some value. Give it a thumbs up if you did, because it's always greatly appreciated. And we'll see you in the next one.